He'll come back. Dum, dum, dum. Yes.
Boop, boop, boop.
I'm so happy to be here with Paula Froelich, the one, the only, the legendary, my dear friend who I've known for 30 years. And we are now having such a laugh doing this podcast. Thank you all of you for being here. I have got a new camera and a new microphone set up. And you are going to notice that my lips are moving at the same time as the thing that I say. Look at this. Look at this. Ben is going to be so happy. Ben, tell me if it makes you happy. Does that make you happy? Does it make you happy?
Wait, do I have to do that too?
Happy. You do it. You do it. Yes. Did you say? Yeah. It's brilliant. I don't know. Anyway, it's really exciting. So I'm here with everybody's favorite Ohio legend, Paula Froelich. You can take the girl out of Ohio, but you can't take Ohio out of the girl. That's what I say.
Yep. The Ohio common sense stays.
Paula, there's been some wild news since we last got together.
Oh my God. So crazy.
I think we last spoke after Harry was in court, saying how awful the media had made his life. Like they had made his life a misery, an absolute misery. And then literally 20 hours later was in a press pen at Sundance. I mean, you can make that.
Hypocrisy seems to fly over Harry's head.
It's like, dude, make your mind up. Either you hate the press or you love the press. Like, what's going on?
It's a lie.
We're going to get on to Sundance in a minute. The top story today that I've covered on my Substack, and that Paula is going to tell you that she knew all about 6 months ago, is that Prince Harry rarely leaves his house, is a glorified house husband, relying on speaking gigs to make money, lacks a stable income stream. Well, to be fair, I think we did all know that. Lacks a clear mission. I think we did all know that. But very interestingly, people around him questioning whether he has slipped back into the role of the spare.
Oh, spare to Meghan instead of William. I mean, listen, he's a type B, man. Type B's got a type B. By the way, we do have some viewers right now from Cincinnati and Alaska, and I just want to say I love you guys.
Well, I've given up reading the comments. I'm afraid I only read the ones Ben puts up on screen. Because they literally half of them accuse me of. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. But it's a really, really interesting story. So, page 6 very much, has talked to some sources saying Harry's not really doing anything in America. He seems very wrapped up in the past. There have been rumors about a business, but nothing seems to be happening on that front. Estimating their costs, again, this is out there. This is not new information, but I suppose in the context of the story, it's quite interesting. Estimating their costs more between the mortgage and security costs are around about $12 million a year, right? Which frankly isn't a huge amount if you're doing well and you're making money in Hollywood. But if you're not, suddenly that expenditure is difficult. And I want to say also there's been this kind of ridiculous story about how she's making $27 million from selling jam. And it's not. What that story was based on was this glitch on the website that showed the amount of inventory. And then someone found an old quote where she said she'd ordered 1 million jam jars. And then someone deducted the amount of jars from 1 million, multiplied it by the retail price, and came up with that was how much money. I mean, so, we don't know how the business is doing. But what we do know is that the entertainment side of the business is not going very well. And we're going to get into Cookie Queens in a minute.
By the way, or the philanthropic side, because philanthropy is also, by the way, a business, and they just shut it down. Also probably to get rid of staffing costs because, you know, the monthly overhead.
Yeah. But this portrait of Harry as a kind of, you know, slightly lost, diminished figure, sort of looking around, trying to figure out what his life means and, you know, where he fits in and what his role is and what his mission is. You were saying to me, Paula, before that you wrote a piece about this a couple of months ago. But,
I did. I wrote it 6 months ago for News Nation.
Yay you ahead of the game. But tell me, does what you wrote in that story, does it mesh with what you're reading in this page 6 story? And tell me
100%. So in June of last year, I wrote a story for News Nation, my day job. Everyone can catch me on Morning in America, Wednesday through Sunday. But it was about how he was really lonely and that he didn't really have many friends. He didn't get out of the house much. And he spent a lot of his time just hanging out with his security guard, guards, which, by the way, just between us, are paid friends. So it's kind of sad, really. And it's very similar to what came out today. You know, he doesn't really have that much to do. He wants to dedicate his life to charity, but as we saw last year, a lot of his charities blew up. Archewell blew up. You had Sentabali blow up. There were a lot of issues with Africa Parks where there were claims of rape against the Africa Parks. And, you know, it's not going well except for Invictus. But even Invictus is getting slammed by some of the warriors saying, hey, we feel like we're being hijacked, you know, for your PR project. It's all about you and Meghan when it's really supposed to be about us getting help and getting better.
Yeah, and it's, of course, a very, for Harry, it must be a very worrying parallel with what was alleged about him in connection with Sentabali when Dr. Sophie Chandauka, who took over as the chair, you know, alleged that basically the charity, effectively, the guts of what she alleged was that the charity kind of came second to them, you know, and that if it was a choice between what kind of PR they were going to get or the charity got prioritized, and she felt that she claimed. Now I have to say that Harry's team, you know, deny it and say she's awful and blah 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 blah, but like what she basically said, as well as all the allegations of racism and misogynoir and all of that, which is obviously very unhealthy. What she also said, which I did think, you know, rang very true, was that like the first consideration is always, how is this going to make us look? And like that's really what you're, you know, there is. I'm nervous because I think Invictus is such a brilliant thing, and I understand that there are people who are nervous that, you know, for
as the same they should reason, be.
Right. For the same reason that Meghan and Harry don't get invited to an awful lot of film premieres, you know, it's because if they're there, they become the story and it overshadows the film premiere. And you know, it feels like the same thing. Like Invictus 2027 in Birmingham is now basically about whether the king shows up, you know?
Well, also the other point is, you know, they take the air out of all the room of any film premiere or any birthday party. Hello, Kris Kardashian. It's really difficult because all of a sudden everything becomes about them and somehow they make it about them. It's exhausting. You know, I call people like that small doses people. They're okay to be around in very small doses. But otherwise, you're going to need a nap. Like a lot of small doses people, they're okay for like 5 to 10 minutes. And then you got to take a nap for like an hour because they're just energy vampires.
And what do you think about this implication, I suppose, in the page 6 piece that as we'd say, I don't know, do you have this expression in America that, you know, Meghan's wearing the trousers?
Oh, yeah. Listen, the funniest thing, I did another story last year for News Nation where I talked to an old friend of his from the military academy at Sandhurst, and he said, oh, yes, well, of course. I mean, Harry loves a firm hand. I mean, again, it goes back to Harry, while he says he wants to be his own man, likes to be led. He likes a firm hand. He married one. And yeah, he's just our type B hair. God bless him.
And actually, you know, Tina Brown made this point in an interview that she did with the New York Times recently. She said that sort of when he left the institution and they left and there was this big showdown, like he very much assumed that she was going to be the kind of guide to the brave new commercial world, that she was going to show him how to do it, that she was going to be, you know, the leader, and she understood this whole world. And, you know, obviously to an extent she did understand the world. She worked in it for some years, but what she didn't anticipate was, you know, obviously COVID, right, completely blew them out of the water. In a way, it was a massive gift for them because it meant they got that enormous deal from Netflix because the streamers were flush with all the COVID money. But I mean, they you know, and they have, and Tina Brown also often makes this point about how they've been cursed with like the most terrible timing. Like everything they do, whenever they try and do anything, the world blows up. You know, California burns down.
I call BS on that because here's the deal. It happened to a lot of people, not just them. A lot of people who also had projects. And the real issue with Meghan is, yes, she knew how to operate in a very small pond of Toronto. And now she's in the ocean of Hollywood and she's not listening. And she's like, no, this is what we do. This is how we do it. I've always been treated so well by this. I know how to basically manipulate the press. And maybe in Toronto, girl, not here. Because guess what? We all see it. We see what's going on. And we're all just rolling our eyes going, oh, Jesus, not again. You know, I mean, she's back with her first publicist from Sunshine Stacks, Blingham Lyles, whatever the middle name is. And you're just like, Jesus, you know, and meanwhile, I got some good stuff coming out later on News Nation about what's going on with that. I've had people who used to work there say what it was like to be on their team at the time and just trust it ain't pretty. So I'm not sure how much they're paying Sunshine Stacks to be able to deal with them again, but okay, so now they've got a bigger team. The other issue is, are they gonna listen? You might have a great team, but if you tell me to sit down and I stand up and run around with no clothes on, there's nothing your team can do.
Sit down, Paula. Sit down.
I'm down, but I'm not taking my clothes off.
This is not 1990, Paula. It's not 1990.
Isn't it? I think it's coming back.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to know, and I know you can't say, because I know you're doing a story later on News Nation, but I want to, can you give us a hint of the terrain that story is coming from and what the kind of general tenor of what you're going to be saying in that story is? Because let's face it, people love our YouTube channel, and that's you're going to get more people reading it. If you give us a little
So
here's
the deal. It's from somebody who used to work at the company and saw what happened, and also saw the staff turnover. And apparently, people who were assigned to the Sussexes would quit before they had to sign an NDA and deal with it. They also, by the way, offered to not pay Sunshine Stacks for the first term and hinted that their celebrity would be enough to get them all sorts of other clients. You know, it's the old bullshit of like, well, we'll give you marketing and press attention. So you'll give me, what's the word? Oh, a freebie, because you know they love freebies.
It's so tacky, isn't it? And it's very and okay, full disclosure, Paula gave me a little heads up on what this story is going to be later, which was trying to get her to tell a little bit. And that bit really stuck out at me, Paula. Like, you know, who goes to a PR company and goes, can you PR me for free? It'd be good PR for you. It's like, they're like, we're a PR company. I think we know what's good PR and bad PR.
Yeah. Well, also PR company that charges 30 to 50 grand a month. because they do really good work and they have a ton of people working there. This is not a mom and pop shop. This is hundreds of people who need to make a living, and hey, can you give it to us for free? You know, it doesn't really
Ken Sunshine is a bit of a legend as well. So actually, back in our page today,
Sean Sachs and the woman who's leading them right now, she is also a freaking legend.
Ben, if you can find a picture of Ken Sunshine, it'll be worth it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Don't. Listen.
He's so fun though. Do you remember back in the day at page 6?
Along with Ken,
remember back in the day at page 6? Him and who was the other guy?
Let's not do it. Sean Sachs, but we can also put up the woman. What is? Oh God, I'm having a brain fart, you guys. The woman's name who's doing them right now. Help me.
Kaylee Thomas Morgan.
Thank you. It's Sunshine, Sachs, Morgan, and Lilas. And the reason why it is because Kelly Thomas Morgan is so goddamn good, they made her a partner. I mean, I just really...
Yeah!
They listed. Whose picture is that?
That's Ken Sunshine, isn't it?
I can't see it on my end.
Oh, you can't see it? Okay.
Put up Kelly. She's amazing.
She's a legend. Yeah, put up Kat. It's spelled Kaylee, but is it pronounced Kelly?
Kaylee, I don't know.
Kelly Thomas Morgan. Yeah.
I think it's Kelly.
But they are a big shop, and it's I just also what it really reminded me of as well, this thing of like, can we have free PR? It really reminded me of all this stuff about taking all the dresses from all the shoots, saying that it was part of the contract.
100%.
Like it's so tacky. It's just so kind of tacky. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just, it's just awful. It really, really gives me the...
They're classy with a K.
Okay.
So it's about that.
Yeah. So, so we're going to move on from that particular story. There she is.
Can we go to Cookie Queen?
We've now got Kaylee. No, we've now got Kelly Thomas Morgan, who I have to say is a bit easier on the eye than Ken Sunshine. If I'm going to be
you can't. I love Ken Sunshine. He was always wonderful. Like, to me, I'm not yakking on Ken. I love him.
I can with my amazing long distance vision. I can just see a comment of someone saying they look very happy for people who have the worst job in PR.
It was probably a good day and everyone took their gummies.
Yeah. They do look cheerful. Okay, but now this story, where I was talking earlier, when I said to you, is Meghan wearing the trousers? I was being slightly leading because I wanted to show this little clip from Meghan and Harry at Sundance, as I said, about 36 hours after he'd been giving evidence saying how awful the media were. And we know that flat camera lights give him PTSD. But hey, here he is in big old press pen. I don't know, 2 and 2 makes 5. But
press is bad unless they're kissing your ass.
Now, Paula unfortunately can't see the video, but soon we'll get the tech fixed. But our viewers can hopefully see this video. So Ben, could you play this video? So what's happening here, Paula? This is no, sorry, not this one, the other one, where they're waiting to come on stage. Yeah, okay. So it's Meghan with the director, and they're chatting away and they're talking, and there's can we play that, Ben?
Oh, I can see it. Okay. Ben fix the tech. Yep.
Okay, now just watch. There's a moment where she kind of beckons Harry like he's a sort of well-behaved cocker spaniel at shoots to come in. It's absolutely surreal. Look at this. There's Harry on the edge, waiting for his call. Look. You see that? Do you see that? The way she kind of goes like that. It didn't actually show. I wonder whether we've got a slight glitch in the video. Maybe we could try playing it one more time, Ben. Sorry, I know you were saying you were having a few connection issues earlier. And you see, she kind of beckons him. There.
Oh,
Do you
no,
see that?
the director beckoned. The director beckoned, not Meghan. To be fair.
Well, no, Meghan does too. Meghan kind of goes like that towards him for him to come in. I just find it like, but what, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But I just find the whole thing of him being like used as a kind of bit part extra for her, you know, promotional purposes. I just find it so, I don't know, it's just so demeaning for him, I think. That's what I feel. And I just feel like what rung very true to me in the Page 6 article was where it was saying, you know, basically it was saying it's all about her. It's all about, you know, her job, her life. She's the one bringing in the money, allegedly. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he's this kind of bit part on the edge.
He's the spare. He's the addendum. He's the vehicle that she is driving for more fame and money.
Yeah.
So
now we're going to look at that other clip, please, Ben, where she gives the speech. And if we could have audio on that, it would be great as well.
A fucking speech.
So this is Meghan giving basically, I mean, you would think that she's just won the Oscar. But anyway, here we go. Possibly. Here we go.
A huge thanks to our team at Archewell Productions, Chanel, Wesley, Q, we love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. Josh Braun, Maggie Pisacane, and then of course the producers. This film is such a labor of love they have worked on for a couple of years, and with all of the hundreds of hours of trusted fly-on-the-wall material that they were able to capture with these families that let them in and allowed them to show and share their lives and their loves.
I mean, is this the Oscars or Sundance? I'm confused. What the hell is going on?
It's literally like an Oscar speech. But Paula has just posted an absolutely fascinating piece on her Substack, which is basically saying that does Meghan not realize, like, because Meghan gave loads of supporting interviews around this, going, this is such an amazing slice of American life. It's fabulous.
I was a scout.
Yeah, I was a scout, blah, 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 blah. But Paula has actually done a great story saying that actually there's a subtle subversive narrative within this film that undercuts the cute cookie queen's narrative and actually suggests that these girls are being exploited. And of course, there's issues around Meghan saying and Harry saying that children shouldn't be on social media and shouldn't be exploited, and here they are being part of this film. Anyway, you pick it up, Paul. Tell us, this film does have a critique of the girl guides cookie cutter thing, whatever it is. I don't know. I mean, I got no idea about this. So,
well, it's a couple of things. Number one, you'll notice that it's being shot, which means Harry and Meghan have a first look deal with Netflix. So it must have gone to Netflix first and they passed. So number one. Number two, if you look at comments from people in the audience on Reddit, and you also look at the Hollywood Reporter thing about the movie, the Hollywood Reporter says it's saccharine sweet, but it's so cute and all this other stuff. But also at the end, it points out that, you know, a lot of these kids don't have money. Their parents don't have money, and that they have to, it's a competition to try and get a free vacation or something. And also, you have to buy the cookies beforehand. So if you don't sell them, you're SOL. And I'll read you exactly what was written because it would be interesting to get everyone's comments on this. Hold on. Oh boy, hold on.
I've got it here. I can read it for you.
Yeah,
this is what you quote in your story. So Paula quotes in this story, somebody who attended the screening says, I was at the morning Sundance screening. I'm not sure the Sussexes understand the film. While the girls are adorable and their stories are touching, the documentary shows significant exploitation by the Girl Scouts organization.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and then they also go on to, like one girl racked up sales almost entirely online through a website built, managed, and promoted by her parents. That girl was obviously quite a little bit more wealthy than some of the other. The girls are coached to upsell, to charm, to lean into cuteness because cuteness sells. The Hollywood Reporter says cuteness, like beauty for older women, is a commodity, one the possessor can exploit to their own advantage. At the same time, the girls seem to have absorbed that guilt-tripping potential customers is part of the game. And
it's absolutely shocking. It's absolutely shocking, isn't it? I mean, it's like how could they like?
Yeah.
Ooh,
it's
God.
also, I wrote basically like, it's a glossy tutorial on how early capitalism trains girls to monetize themselves. And it's like, some people were actually like, did Harry and Meghan even watch this movie? Like, could they not talk about it? Like, and the way that she could have done it, she could have said, listen, we all think this. I had such a great experience, but this is what's going on in America right now. And it's not as great as it used to be. Instead, she's trying to point it out as an advertisement for the Girl Scouts, which it isn't.
Like, keep talking for a minute, because I'm just going to find what they originally said about it, because they said,
well, let me just point out.
They announced it. They totally announced it as like, this is this fantastic American tradition that we're so honored to be uplifting and supporting. Do you know what I mean? And actually, it turns out, because they didn't make the film, right? Somebody else made the film. I don't know what their role is. They're
money. If you're an executive producer, you throw money at it, and then you get the EP title.
But well, look, we don't know, but I mean, it sounds to me like that they're helping to distribute it. Presumably, these people thought it would get onto Netflix, but I mean, Netflix, I assume, passed. Do we assume? I mean, they have a first look deal, right?
Right. If you have a first look deal, you have to give it to them first. And then they can say whether they want it or not. That is the exact definition of a first look deal. And here's the deal. If they had just done this little oh my God, American Girl Scouts. Like, listen, I was a Girl Scout too. A lot of people were. And there was a lot of fun, interesting stuff about it. But the absolute worst part was always the cookie selling. It's nasty. It's stress inducing. It's effing hideous. And the movie also points out that one girl's older sisters have kind of aged out of cookie selling. I mean, yeah. It
was so gross, that bit about the aging out. I'm just and you're suddenly looking at this and I don't want to be culturally insensitive, and I know that Americans do things in a different way, and the kind of beauty pageants and stuff.
God, just say it.
I just think that the fact that they don't make the cookies themselves, I just find super weird. Because we have cookie sales here, but you make the cookies yourself and you sell to your neighbors. You make 80 quid.
Girl Scouts are not a bake sale.
$7,000 selling pre-made cookies online that you've had to pay for up front.
Okay,
how is that remotely?
In defense of American tradition and of the Girl Scouts, listen, I don't want to be eating some homemade cookies from some rando Girl Scouts, all right? Second of all, it's the company that makes them and use these little kids as their salespeople. I mean, it's kind of a scam. It's a gamut. The kids basically end up getting $1 a box, right? And the Girl Scouts keep all the money. But it's
it's really shocking. So actually, this is like a massive takedown of Girl Scouts cookie. I'm actually, do you know what? I'm actually desperate to see the film now.
Yeah, I know. But here's the deal. I don't think it's a massive takedown. I think you have to be kind of looking through things. You have to be on it while you're watching it. And everything else that the couple have done, it put me to sleep in 5 minutes. So that's a problem for me. But after reading what the Hollywood Reporter said and doing some digging on my own of how much the Girl Scouts make per box, it's insane. I mean, even, you know, like even most salesmen get at least 20%.
That is absolutely shocking and disgusting. I'm really sorry. It's just really awful.
And yes, by the way, somebody has said it raises money for the kids' troop. That is correct. But it is also a massive corporate money builder.
No, I totally believe you. Okay, well, we've got one more amazing story that I'm just trying to find. I want to get it absolutely right.
Which one is it?
Okay, well, I don't think you've seen it yet.
Probably not.
It's literally...
I've been working all day.
That was broken. Okay, so there's been this massive problem in England lately with people doing massive, really disgusting illegal dumps, right? So they buy a bit of land, like they buy 3 acres of land, preferably a lovely beauty spot next to a, you know, virgin river, and then they dump truckloads and truckloads of lorries worth of rubbish and household rubbish and building waste. And by the time that the sort of useless police and the useless council catch up with them, they've sort of long gone to their you know, villa in the Costa del Sol, right? And they just take all the money and leave it to the Environment Agency to clear up. Okay. Then there tends to be a big argument between, often they lease the land off people, you know, and tell them they're going to do something, and then they use it as a dump. But sometimes it's, you know, actually the owner itself. So the latest one of these that has been a big problem is in a village near Wigan in Lancashire, where there is, I mean, unbelievable stinking hill that you can see there on the image actually of rubbish. 25,000 tons of illegally dumped rubbish. It keeps catching on fire. I mean, it's like totally full on, you know, unregulated rubbish dump, dead rats, you know, all kinds of ghastly things happening. And the landowner who owns it, who leased it to somebody who then who then dumped all this stuff on it, and then skipped out, you know, obviously, and they can't find them. So the Environment Agency is suing the landowner to try and get the landowner to clean it up. And unfortunately, turns out the landowner is the king.
What? Oh, dude! King Charles, the king of environmentalism himself, has a big dump that's basically on fire on his land. I mean, honestly, it's kind of apt, I mean, for what his legacy is at this point, but a dumpster fire. But this is insanity. And they can't stop it. The king wouldn't have had, before he leased it to somebody who basically took a dump on his own land, wouldn't have had somebody come around and be like, oh, hello, what's going on? And noticed or read something or what?
So how he came to own it is because it's part of one of these, it's in Lancashire. So it's part of the Duchy of Lancashire. It's the land is originally part of one of these duchies. The people who dumped the rubbish obviously have skipped out or gone bust or whatever. So the land has reverted to the duchy, which is not the property of the Crown Estate. It is the personal property of the king. You know, and let's be clear, the Duchy of Lancaster last year made a profit of £24 million on assets of £670 million.
By the way, for Americans, that's basically $50 million that they're getting a year, and they're fooling in the bird at the people who actually live there by allowing this rubbish dump to continue.
Yeah. So basically, the duchy is saying, well, it came back to us with the problems on it. So therefore, thank you very much, Elizabeth. That's much appreciated. they're saying it's cheated, which is this legalese term for basically like it's got a problem with it or whatever. I can't remember the exact word now that Americans use. There is a different word. Easement. Is it called an easement? It has an easement on it. So and they've just said to Channel 4 News, who reported this, and it's on the Channel 4 News Substack. Can't recommend you all to get on Substack enough. The Duchy legally does not take any liabilities in relation to cheated property. To make this even worse, the Duchy are trying now to give the land to the council, to make the council have to clear it up.
Wait. Let me get this straight. The people who made $50 million off of that land last year are now and don't pay taxes are trying to get someone else to pay for the cleanup. I mean, this is a little bit like Meghan and Harry, or Meghan being like, no, I don't need to pay for that dress. It's part of my legacy, at any and odd photo shoot. It's bizarre.
I mean, it's so idiotic. And also, of course, it would be such a kind of easy win, you would have thought, for King Charles to just go, my God, we're all so horrified by this illegal dumping that's going on all over the United Kingdom. I really want to lead by example and, encourage landowners. I know it's difficult, but, if you can, we'll launch a charity to try and do something about it to help. I'm going to pay for this myself. The royal income has gone through the roof in the past 3-5 years.
What is going on with his press office? Why do his PR people not recognize that this is not 1972 anymore? I mean, that people want accountability, and also people in England are broke and they are hurting. The economy ain't great. So what the hell?
Well, the simple answer to that, Paula, is because it's on Channel 4 News, and it's so the Palace press office don't care what Channel 4. They're like, they're all a bunch of lefties and pinkos anyway. So if it had been the Daily Telegraph uncovering it, they'd have they'd have paid attention to it. But the Daily Telegraph would have no interest in uncovering a story like this that was really, really damaging to the king. The Times does it occasionally. The Times does stuff occasionally because obviously Rupert Murdoch has his kind of, I hate the bloody hell. We both work from Murdoch paper. But I think I can say with confidence that he's no great fan.
I think it's also ironic and hilarious because you and I were talking a couple weeks ago about how Prince William and Catherine's new home also has a dump behind it. And like if the wind blows a certain way, it just smells literally like shit. Literal. Yes. Actual feces. So, I don't know what's going on.
When me and Paula worked at the New York Post many years ago, because my accent, which I have tried to modulate in the intervening years, everybody thought I was Australian. And they therefore assumed that I was a personal friend of the Murdochs. Because they're like, who's this posh twat? Who's this posh twat who's turned up with an Australian accent? And they all thought I was mates with the Murdochs.
Oh my God, so many people deferred to Tom or would be like, hey, all this stuff, because they're like, well, he's got to be Rupert Laughlin's friend. That's how we got to do it here. Meanwhile, we're all just sitting there. This is back in the day when I smoked. I was like, it's British, not Australian. Of course, I have a British passport, so I knew that. And also, Tom told me. But
right. Well, it's been heaven to be here. It's been heaven to have you all here. It's been heaven to have Paula here. We have one request of you, please. And it's not a very big one. You don't have to subscribe to our Substacks if you don't want to, although you should, because they're very entertaining. But you can just press the blooming subscribe button, right? You can press the like button. It doesn't cost you a thing, man. It doesn't cost you a thing. And if you're really feeling kind, share the video with someone and get more people to watch us. And then we can keep doing this for free and we can keep having a laugh. Because to be honest, I've had a great time and I don't care. I don't care whether anyone watching it is a good time or not. I don't care.
Also, by the way, I do have my own YouTube as well. It's Paula Frolic, all one word. And I do some other stuff there too.
And it's amazing. And we're so happy to have you. So we're going to go. Ben, can you hit the button and take us out? End this misery.
Oh my God.
End this misery.